Guys, welcome to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to another preview. I suppose the European tie Bohemians take on. Do you want to say them?
Stjarnan.
Stjarnan, isn't it? Stjarnan. A Starman
Stjarnan.
from David Bowie in my head, you see. So this is the second leg, obviously, of the Europa Conference League qualification, and obviously Bows had a favourable result, has to be said. 1-1 in the first leg, getting that equaliser, which means to go into the game at the Aviva Stadium with an opportunity to win, you'd feel, in my opinion. And as you said in your review, you felt Bows generally looked the better side anyway as well. So that's a good sign coming into the second leg. I suppose, first of all, Dad's like 6,000 people, Aviva Stadium. It's going to be, for a start, it's going to be a great day out. I'm going myself. I'm bringing the young man who's a Bows fan as well. Yeah, looking forward to this yourself.
I can't wait. It's going to be the first Bows game for myself back, and loads of others since all COVID started. I had to stop going to games. And if someone had told me your first match back is going to be in the Aviva Stadium with Bows, I wouldn't have believed it, you know. Like, it's going to be a fantastic day out. 6,000 is going to be there. It's going to be in the Aviva, and we've got a real possibility of going through at home. Like, it's going to be brilliant. It's going to be an amazing time.
Yeah. Do you think, actually, this is kind of devil's advocate a little bit, but do you think in a technical sense, would Bows prefer to play this at Dalymount Park?
I think you'd always prefer to play in your own home ground, like, but you would never even be able to have 6,000 fans at Dalymount. So, look, it would be great to have it in Dalymount, but that was never going to happen, especially with the current climate. But look, it's great that's happening. It's in the Aviva. But yeah, look, we'd all rather be in Dalymount Park. This is the final, however.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, looking back actually quickly at the first leg and the team selection, do you see any changes there? Is there anything you would change personally to the team selection, or would you like to go again?
I think, though, thinking logically about what Keith Long won't change the team. He didn't even make any subs, which, you know, I touched on in the review as well, which was, I don't know, I found it a bit disappointing. I suppose he probably didn't want us to concede any silly goals. That's happened this season. He brought on subs and we conceded, or we just looked a bit weaker at times. But someone could have came on and made a difference that night as well and could have scored, but we'll never know. But I don't really think I'd change too much. All around, I think we were good. There's not a whole lot you could change. But I probably would like to see subs made, you know, in this game. Obviously I can't tell because it's in the future, like, but you know, like, it would have been great to bring Keith Ward on to the week. Like, he would have changed it, but he would have that game would have suited him. Like, put balls through and put them in, and some of our crosses were wayward. Like, he would have been good there to put balls in. Like, you know, he would have complemented the side more. But I don't know, I wouldn't really change Tierney and Devine in midfield. They're very good. We can't really change anything up front with George Kelly. He's our only striker. Porter is very good in the wing. I wouldn't change him. The fullbacks, I thought Wilson did a good game. Andy Lyons got forward as well as much as he could. Centre backs were okay, and you know, then there's just Talbot really. No, I wouldn't change it. No.
I think the only issue though is that Stephen Mallon is out injured again, and you know, I spoke about it before. Derry City, very good Derry City, but picked up injuries. Obviously, he missed the start of the season with Bows, was only back. I think he picked up this injury against Drogheda, as far as I remember, and he might still be out. So, you know, that he's a player that can come on for a Coote or a Birch, maybe 60 minutes, 70 minutes, be rotated in the league, etc. So you'd like him to be back involved, but it's hard to know whether he will be, to be honest with you, for Thursday anyway.
Yeah, look, he's a great player on paper, but didn't really get any game time with Bows this season, so we don't really know what he could do with a Bows shirt. Like, there's players this season and other clubs that we've touched on in previous shows that have just went missing for them. Like David Parkhouse is a fine example of someone that's not performing this season, but there's every chance Malin could come on and make a difference too. He's that type of player, and look, he would be a stronger side if he was available. He would be a like-for-like substitution. He is someone who can play a range of positions up front. He can cover each wing. He could even play as a striker if you really need it. But yeah, it's a question mark if he's going to be available or not. As far as I know, he's back training, but you know, it's a question mark if he's going to be available. He'd be great to have on the bench. But here he's on the bench of the week and still wasn't brought on. And a lot of people were hoping this would be the game we could play in. Like,
But as well as that, I suppose you talked about Keith Long not making substitutes, and I get that point, but is that testament though to the fitness of the players as well, that he felt, look, I'm not going to make it. I don't see a change here. I don't think anyone here is tired, let's say. So I'm not going to make a change just for the sake of making a change either.
That's it. Like, you know, I don't really think really anyone had a particularly poor game that they'd need to come off, and because they were a liability to the team. I don't really think anyone had a game like that, which is always a positive to see because everyone was getting stuck in. That's something I like to say a lot because I feel if you have a player that's not pulling their weight, it can really put a strain throughout the team and it has to fill up that one position. So the fact that that didn't happen is obviously, like you said, testament to Bowes. And I think Key was probably thinking to himself, we have a full week to recover. We don't have a league game coming up. So he didn't, it wasn't like, right, well, for talking's sake, so-and-so can only last 60 minutes. If we have another game, I may take him off. We didn't have to do that. So he wasn't forced to make a sub. No one really got injured either. Kelly picked up a knock. That hasn't been put up anywhere, as in, like, we haven't heard any how he is or anything. As far as I know, he's okay. He should be fit to play, and it'd be very worrying if he is out.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you think Bowes should approach this game as well? Do you think more of the same from the first leg, or do you think a little bit more expressive maybe now that they know what the opposition are about, possibly?
I think, yeah, like what you said there, the fact now that we know what these team is about, like, it's very hard, as I said in the preview show, to really prepare for a team like this. You don't really know what they're going to play like, what they're going to like, especially when they're playing against us. They don't really know much about us either. But the fact that we've had this game, and in my opinion, dominated it, should have won it. It shows that we have the capability there to get something out of this game and to get through. So I think it should be more expressive. Maybe not take as many shots outside the box because just they weren't on target or nothing. Not wrong taking the shot, like, but 3 or 4 in the first half were just shocking. Like, they could have been done so much more. Hopefully that's done a bit more of that in training, especially with the crossing too. There was crosses there. If it had landed in Kelly's head, it could have been in, but they just weren't there. Like, so, but then again, looking at it like that, they didn't cause us too many problems. It was mostly us causing them problems, or in their face, or in their box. So I think we should win it. I'd actually think we should win 2-0. And some of the players we picked out on the Stars side, like Harrods, he played on the right side and cut in a lot. He was good. That tall centre back, Kaladger, I think is his name, 6'4". He was strong and powerful. He was good. The keeper was okay. Hadn't too much to do. They have a very good central midfielder too. He played for Iceland 4 times, I think. He was very technical and good. They were the ones we kind of touched on, and they were good. So we'd be wary of their strengths as well.
Yeah, I think as well, actually, what's interesting, the fact that we don't have an away goal going into this match, as in away goals don't count, that Bowes can't kind of think to themselves, sit back and subconsciously even think a 0-0 is going to do us. Whereas Stjarnan, for their part, they drew 1-1 in the first leg. The away goal isn't an advantage to Bowes, obviously. So they're looking at it and going, well, we drew the first match, so we kind of have to try and win the second match. So both teams have to go into this game thinking, obviously, might be the cage to start, but you can't think it's going to get to extra time and penalties, is what I'm saying. You got to try and go out and win the match. And that's going to be an interesting facet coming into the game, actually.
That's an excellent point, and it's something that hasn't happened for many years now with any team, because the fact that the away goal is gone, it doesn't mean that we can set up defensively now and try and get to 0-0 to half time anyway and see how it's going, which is what you could have done in the past, because you could have kept it comfortable, kept possession, set back, played a deep line, kept control of the game and try and limit the chances they'd have. But the fact that this away goal is gone now, we're not going to go into this game winning that we would have last season. So we have to, like you said, we have to play from the whistle. We have to go straight away. We have to attack on the off, and so do they, because the game is just as much for them as it is for us. And I've touched this season too on this, like, individual mistakes. Again, like Dawson's header back led to that goal. Like, he should have been more aware. I should have players around him been more aware. It was a silly thing to do. If you're not clear about it, put it one direction up the field. I don't care where it goes. Do not put it into the backs if you're going to do that. And that was costly for us, and it's very disappointing that happened. And look, I don't want to be criticising them because he had a good game, and so did everyone. But to concede a silly goal, that was very disappointing for myself anyway. And we can't do that now on Thursday. We just simply cannot do it.
Yeah, I think that's a little issue generally with Bowes this season, though, isn't it? Concession of silly goals, so at times, like, that'd be on the negative side from their point of view.
We've conceded a lot of silly goals this season. Like, even the Longford game, God, months ago, was a testament to that. Like, 2-0 up and dominating, and God, it's true. It is true it away. And then the Derry game, winning, and then they came back and won. That's just 2 games out of my head there now. Individual mistakes leading to them. At least they're not team mistakes, but it shows how easy it is that can happen, and it puts us under pressure. We are capable of a mistake at the back, and Talbot a few times this season has made mistakes himself too. Now he's a great keeper and I love him very much, but he has a mistake in him at times too, so he'll be under pressure. But I'm very confident in him that he'll have a great day, and so will the whole team.
But once again, like 6,000 roughly Bows fans, there's going to be a couple of neutrals will probably get in as well. But there's going to be, I'm hopeful that they'll be loud for a start. I know the Aviva is a big stadium, but if you can get, loud home fans, Bohemians fans, and I do expect them to be loud, as I said, it should help to push them on as well. So that's something to look forward to also, isn't it?
Especially the Bows fans, the crowd, like in my opinion, we're probably one of the most passionate fan bases in the country. And like everybody knows us. We get out in numbers. We're really a chant team the whole way. And I've seen games where Bow was lost and the team was, the fans were still chanting the team, and these players look up to this and like, wow, these fans are really good. Like, so it'll be the first time for a lot of these players, especially like, so say Bert, who wouldn't really know much about Bow, he came over. We'll see what our fans are like, and I hope everybody goes out there now and makes a lot of noise, make as much noise as they can, and gets behind the team as much as we can. And if we go a goal down, don't go quiet. Like, it's still, we're still in the game. We can still go and win this. So it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited for 6,000 fans in the Aviva. I didn't think I'd see it. It's amazing. It's great that's coming back, but it is only a trial game too. I think people need to remember that very much this could be the highest attendance for a football match in this country for the whole year. We don't know yet. Ireland have a few games coming up, but this is going to be one of the trial events for that too, to see how it goes. But look, it's great that we were picked for 6,000 fans to go, and it's going to be an amazing day out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an open game myself because the Aviva is a big pitch as well. So it lends for open football, and Bows can express themselves. And I'd like to think that having seen the first leg, would you be more confident now, say, than you were before the first leg, having seen both teams set up against each other, actually?
I definitely would be. Like, there was so many positives we could take out of the past game. Like, there was so many shots we had. There's so many positive passages of play we had. And Dawson put some really good balls through and had a really good first touch on them. And he was finding players all the time. And Bert was causing a lot of trouble up his side. He was beating players. He was cutting in. He was cutting out. He's putting balls through. He was getting in on goal. Like, and the fullbacks, Wilson and Andy were really bombing up the field at times. They were showing confidence going forward in numbers. There's a lot of confidence we're showing in that game, especially having gone the goal down to come back like that and to play really well and completely dominated. It took us about 20 minutes to get into it. But when we got going, we were going very well. And look, at the end of the day, we could have came back with a 2 or 3-0 win, But I think the corners too could have been worked a lot more. We had 10 or 11 corners, they had 3. So when you look at it like that too, they were doing a lot of defending. So there's much more positives than negatives going into this game. And I do feel the pressure might get to Bows a little bit for us, because I feel like we have more pressure than them. We're at home and we were the better side in the first game. So they might be thinking that too. Like, a lot of pressure's on us now too.
How do you see it then? You're going for Bows to win it, yeah?
Oh God, I'm gonna stick my neck in the line now. I would take a 1-0 win. Who wouldn't all day long? But I think we could get a 2-0 win. I think we could manage that.
That'd be fair enough. 2-1 Bows for me. Looking forward to as well, Daz, because obviously I'm bringing the young fella as well, so it should be a good day out. The Aviva always, anytime there's a League of Ireland club playing at the Aviva Stadium, it really, I don't know, it always feels like a really big game. It really brings it out, so really looking forward to that as well. So best of luck to Bows, and cheers, Daz.
Cheers, Keith.